to another edition of Small Yard Big Pool Dreams, where I'm taking you through the process of us putting in a swimming pool in our tiny little yard in Southern California. Today I'm going to talk about color change, because if you've watched the videos, you know that initially our thoughts were that we were going to have a really dark like black bottom pool. That was something I always thought was really cool. I like the fact that the darker colors help keep the water warm, because obviously they absorb more heat, as well as just giving it kind of that lagoon look. However, we've had a change, and that's part of the process of putting in a pool, is obviously changing your mind about certain things. You think you want something, then you kind of look at it from a different perspective, think about it differently. So here's what I did. I was doing a lot of research when it really came down to us putting in stone the color that we wanted on our pool. I went online, obviously, and looked at a lot of pictures of pools in different colors. Now, of course, anybody's going to tell you the best thing to do is find someone who has a pool with the finish of the colors or colors you're considering, and look at it in real life. That'd be awesome if we all had that ability, but that just, you know, realistically isn't always possible. It wasn't possible for us. So just looking online, and as many people as I could find who had the colors that we were considering, and then also looking specifically for information about black bottom pools or dark colored pools. Aside from looking at pictures, looking for pictures and videos, just information, I did find one video on YouTube that was really great by one company, not a company we're using for our pool finish, but a big company that does pool finishes. And they had a really good video that talked about things to consider in terms of dark colored pools and just things you want to think about. And one of those specifically was about if you're going to have a shallower pool. And our pool is fairly shallow. It's going to be 4 foot 6 inches, all one depth. There's not going to be a deep end. And so one thing we started thinking about in terms of that was, well, there were a couple of things. One was that lagoon look. In the right setting, I think it really would be cool to have that lagoon look, but the more I looked at our setup and how our pool is going to be, we were wanting it to have, you know, more of a Hawaiian resort feel. We definitely wanted a deep, rich blue, and not, we're not fans of the really light colors. We wanted a deeper blue than maybe you would normally see at a resort, but we wanted blue, an inviting blue. Sitting in our living room, looking out the back door, you're looking onto the pool. We wanted it to be very inviting, and we thought if it was too dark, it might not look so inviting in the setting that we have it in. And then secondly, and this was probably the bigger of the 2 points, was because it was a small pool, not small, well, it is a small pool, but a shallow pool. We know there are going to be times of the day where you're not going to see necessarily the light reflected off the water, or the color of the water based on the light. You're going to actually see the bottom of the pool. You're going to see the steps. You're going to see the bottom. And at those points in time, when you're just seeing the actual color of the finish rather than watercolor, it would be black or dark gray. And we were thinking that's probably not what we want. We want it to be blue even if you're seeing the bottom. So we switched it up. We were going to go with a Quartzscape called Gunite or something close to that, which were the black ones. And we switched over to a color called Barbados blue. And you can see some of the pictures of the Barbados blue. Of course, if you go to the Quartzscape website, they have a ton of them. But yeah, it's a really deep blue. As far as the watercolor, what it appears, of course, watercolor is affected by surroundings and time of day and many different things. But generally speaking, it's a darker blue color, but still a definitive blue, as opposed to the lagoonish look, more of a rich blue color. So we decided ultimately that that was what we're going to do. We switched it up at the last minute, right before when it was time to put in our final thing, just thinking through those things. So that's just part of the pool process, I think, is doing that, just going through the process, and you think you want it one way, then you want it another way. And if you're married, then obviously there's always that aspect of you want one thing, your spouse wants a different thing, and finding that middle ground, finding the commonality, finding the things that will work for both of you. You know, you give up this one, I'll give up that one, kind of a thing. So that's always a process, but just know that if you're changing your mind in the middle of your pool process, you're not alone. That is the way it goes, and but we're happy with the color we've chosen. I think that it is the right decision, and I think it's what's going to be awesome in the end, which we'll see in a couple of weeks or a few months. We'll know and you'll know. So anyway, until then, that's going to be it for this episode. Just wanted to let you know how we came about to change the color and go from the really dark black bottom pool to more of a deep, rich, bluish bottom pool.